So an interesting article I found on the Smithsonian all about cats and why we should be getting rid of domesticated cats. Now, the main argument and thrust is that when birds leave the nest, about 79% of birds are killed by predators. Now, the highest predator to actually kill the birds, and this is all birds across the table, are cats. And this is actually quite a problem when you go and you read into more of the article, because birds are really needed for spreading seeds in terms of, environmental costs. That's one of their main functions they do, is they are one of the biggest spreaders of seeds in the environment. So the problem is you've got a cat who, and particularly domesticated cats, who have the hunting instincts, but they don't actually eat mice or birds. They tear off the heads, or they might take the body home, but they don't actually consume the animal, which in turn causes another problem, because then the prey doesn't end up doing their intended job. And as a result, believe it or not, bird populations, according to the article, again I'll leave a link down below because it's quite an interesting read, the article calls for, again, essentially the end of outdoor cats. Essentially all cats, domesticated cats, should now be kept as an inside pet and should not be allowed to go outside because of the damage they do. And as I said, the bird population around areas with a high number of domesticated cats plummets, and the more cats that are introduced into that area, the bird population declines. Now, that is, again, it's a very interesting question, because should you now consider as a moral argument not having a cat as a pet because of the damage it could potentially do to the environment? Or if you do get a cat, should you now be considering keeping your cat indoors on a permanent basis because of, again, potential damage it could do to the environment? So again, I'd like to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this article? Because it's a quite interesting article, and it puts forward a good case for essentially the end of outdoor cats. The author himself, who wrote the article, basically says, I love cats. I'm a cat person. He owns a cat himself, but he can't deny the damage that the high number of domesticated cats are doing to wildlife.